Good evening from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. I'm making another quick video, which is unusual for me to do two in one day. But I've I kind of have to laugh. I just had my regular debrief with my handsome, beautiful, soulful, wonderful psychiatrist. And I just wanted to show you what I've got on so we can all have a little bit of a chuckle, my darlings, because it was actually delightful. And so I'm wearing this outfit, right? And I've got, you probably can't see it, but I've got purple socks on. Let me show you to go with my, and I'm like, I think it's like, edgy, smart casual. And I'm really loving this pink skirt that my friend gave me. It's actually about 2 sizes too big for me and could be taken in. But, Mama T doesn't give a fuck. I'm just like, working it, baby, working it. So anyway, here's the funny thing that happened, right? So I turn up to my, I kind of have to laugh. It's delightful. I love him so much. He's a wonderful man, really. But does he stir me up too? Anyway, it's therapy. It's therapeutic. So anyway, I turn up and dressed as I am, I have my, I can't wait, but I have my pink woolen cardigan with me. And so I'm all pretty in pink. And my psych takes one look at me and says, "Oh, you're wearing trans colours." And I said, "Oh, am I?" He went, "Yes, all the purple and the pinks." And I said, "Well, I've got no problem, with dressing in trans colours. I've got, trans cousins and, I'm an ally. I'm an LGBTIQ plus ally." So now we sit down and we have my session. And he says to me, he talked about my my very sweet and very romantic friendship that doesn't go any further because I'm tamping things down. I'm being good people. And he says, it was actually quite beautiful. He said to me, "Why can't things just stay the way they are, Tanya? You've never had a man show such sweetness and affection and attention to you and, consistently be affectionate and sweet." And he said, "Quite frankly, Tanya, you deserve to have that in your life, be treated like that in your life." He said, "All you've ever had with previous, men who were actually sexual partners in the past, previous lovers, was pain and treachery and weak, inept, spiteful viciousness and two-faced behaviour and slanderous backstabbing." And I said to him, "I think it's my Dharma." So we had to Google Dharma. And what I'm going through is actually the opposite of Dharma. It's Dharma in reverse. I said, "Doctor, it's just a complete, mirror of the Dharma, of the Buddhist Dharma, which is, your value system and love and friendship and honour and integrity." I said everything was like completely reversed since birth. All I've had is abuse and trauma and treachery and backstabbing and, violence and cruelty. And I said, so as a consequence of all that evil, I tamped down my sexuality. I said, but I've got a pressure valve on it, and I'm kind of very gently releasing just little by little, because I'm actually afraid, I said, of entering into a, truly passionate, romantic, heartfelt, sincere relationship and scaring the other person off because I'm unlocking nine years of celibacy. I mean, there was one aberration 6 years ago, but really I've been celibate, completely asexual celibate, for 9 fucking years. So it's like, so my doctor and I look at each other and we kind of have to laugh. He says, "Well, Tanya, you're dressed like someone who's about to be very libidinous and let it all out, let it all hang out," kind of thing. And I kind of had to laugh because, I got given this mauve skirt recently, and the purple tissue. I thought I looked cute, cute. I wasn't really going for a woman that's on the brink of unleashing her sexuality on the world, but I guess maybe the mushrooms are a bit of a hint. But they were made by my daughter, and mushrooms are a hint to my shamanic, path. So anyway, we carried on with our debrief, and we talked a lot about, he said, "Oh, Tanya, it's you must feel so sad and frustrated that you're once again in a pattern of, being involved with a man who is not attainable. It's like being kind of tortured in a way. It's always just so close yet so far." And as I said, I think it's my dharma in reverse. I said, I think the gods are just cruel, just playing me for a fool and just a bit fucking cruel. I said, however, I have the power to change that. I said, but I'm conscientious that, if it didn't end up being a truly loving event, that it would be harmful to both me and other people. And I don't want that. I don't want to be causing damage to other people when I'm trying to be in a loving, passionate, love-making, gorgeous relationship with someone. I don't want it. I said, all my manifestations for the last 10 years have been with harm to none, and competition with none, and clean and clear, meaning I don't want any fucking degenerate drug addicts ever again like I had with the courtmaster. I don't want anyone that's got seedy fucking friends that are debasing and cruel and vicious as well. So I'm very conscious of choosing wisely this time, But I said to my doctor, never before in my entire life have I had so much agape, gorgeous, sometimes a little bit flirty and a little bit mischievous love flow to me. And my doctor looked at me. He's such a beautiful man. He really is. He said, I know, right? He said, all the years that you danced at the casino for 12 years and you were condescended to and sneered at, harassed, bullied. It went on for years, by the way. Years and years I was really badly treated by former lovers and two former lovers and their cohorts, and just the regular crowd that were there. And I really was, by and large, just treated like some kind of weirdo and freak, right? It was awful. And I used to rise above it because I only went there for one reason and one reason only, which was to dance. And I told my psych that I actually said recently to my friend that I dance wildly and passionately and joyously and triumphantly. I said as kind of a catharsis that I reach because I use that energy instead of having sex people, because historically it's not safe for me to have sex with men who were vicious and condescending and treacherous and downright fucking putrid. So, and my psych looked at me lovingly and he said, I worked that out a long time ago, Tanya, that's what you were utilising the dance for. And I smiled and I said, yes. I said, well, it's, the only way I can work through some of my rage and grief and trauma, but also channel the positive attributes like longing and yearning and being in love with someone that doesn't want me, and channel all that out in a positive way through my body so I don't get blockages that cause things like organ shutdown, for example, my fucking gallbladder, am I right? So anyway, so we carried on with our session, and pardon me, I told him that I've been watching in recent weeks, a lot in recent days, but I have watched this person, a few weeks back through the Drawing Down the Stars podcast. And so I said to him, I've been watching this man who's very interesting and talks a lot about the Bible and how it was corrupted, and he goes back to the ancient Greek sources and it tells a totally different story, which is quite alarming, which I won't go into, but I recommend you watch videos by this guy, Lady Babylon. And it's very, very interesting indeed, because basically we've been lied to all along. And I said that all along to my psychiatrist, that's why I left Christianity behind. As a young child, I knew it was corrupt and evil because of my own personal lived experiences at home, at school. You know, I knew there was something terribly, terribly wrong. So he looked at me, my doctor, and he said to me, I really admire that, by the way. He said, I really admire and respect that you cobbled together your spirituality and your religious practice and your shamanic walk, you know, quite consciously. Even as a young child, we're not afraid to stand up and say, no, this is not good. I don't want any part of this. And he said, and then growing up, you sort of gradually pieced it together. And even now, he said, I really admire your spirituality and your power. I was quite surprised and astonished to hear that from my psychiatrist, actually. So I looked at him, I said, you're the second person in recent weeks to tell me, you know, they love my power or admire my shamanic kind of walk, really. And I said, you're the second person. He said, oh, who was the first person? I said, oh, my friend, you know. I said, we were talking about a month ago, and he looked at me lovingly and said, I love your power. And I said, Brian, I said, if he wasn't married, I said, we would have been lovers just on the basis of that alone. And and I just would have gone there. And Brian said, really? And I said, well, you know, look at it this way. I said, I have never had a lover or a potential lover or someone flowing that kind of energy to me before in all my life to ever actually say, I love your power or I admire your spirituality or your walk. I've never had that. All I have ever had in all my life is men trying to destroy me, annihilate me, literally strangle me, rape me, debase me, badmouth me behind my back like happened to Irish Murphys and at the casino. Just be crass and savage and actually fucking life-threatening. And my psych looked at me and he said, well, Brian is his name, he said, it's because they fear you, they fear your feminine power. They weren't the men for you. They were afraid to love you and they were afraid to be with you because, quite frankly, he said, you were just too powerful for them and they knew it at a subconscious level, maybe even consciously. And I said to him, so you can see why it was so seductive when my friend said to me, I love your power. And I said, and now you've reinforced that. And he said, well, just the way you cobbled everything together throughout your life while navigating life-threatening situations and heartbreaking, awful relationships, he said, I really admire that. And you know what? That's the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me. It's very rare that I feel like I'm worthy of admiration or I've done anything admirable. Anyway, we went on to discuss, we covered a few other subjects. We talked about the COVID and our world, our entire world, how it's forever altered. And I said, we can't get it back to how it was before because everyone in the world, except for those few rare individuals that weren't vaccinated and didn't catch COVID, everyone in the world has been forever altered. And I said, it's terrifying. I have a real existential angst and real fear for our future as a species. He said, yes, our entire species has been fully under attack. And I said to him, I really struggle. I said, and here's the irony, going through all the struggle, I'm willing to grab at life and open up my sexuality for the first time in, well, really 9 years. So I said, and I'm afraid to, because for me personally, it comes with great personal risk of what if it goes wrong, and what if the person I choose to make love with isn't genuine and sincere, and isn't genuinely caring, and doesn't really love me, and it becomes another fucking sordid disaster. It's a huge risk, a huge gamble and a huge risk. So we just sort of looked at each other, my doctor and I, and he said, well, your fear is not irrational or unreasonable given your lived experiences. And anyway, he truly is a wonderful man. He said to me, I'm so determined to get your health better, and so that you have better health. I'm so determined for you to have a wonderful life at long last, Tanya, and have the love you always dreamed about with a beautiful man who adores and values and cherishes you. And he said, and I'm so happy when you tell me how you treated in the Brooklyn Standard, how both bands, just encourage you and flow love to you and make you feel welcome, even, with my quite astonishing, quirky ways, really. He said, you've never had that before, Tanya. You've never had that where you felt safe and cherished and cared for and loved. And now, he said, there's an entire club that treats you with such sweetness and honour. And he said, I'm just so happy for you to have that, Tanya. He said, I'm just, worry about what will happen if you, open up your sexuality again. I worry about you getting hurt. And I looked at him and I said, oh, I worry about that too. And I worry about it hurting others as well. And that's why I'm reticent and playing sort of getting excited and stirred up at times on one level, but then on another level quickly pulling back and tamping things down, because I don't want my love to be a tainted byproduct of fucking pain. I've had I've had enough of that experiences in my life, and 10 years I shut down everything. And when I open it up, I want it to be beautiful and noble and sincere and authentic, and for me, and just real and true. And he just looked at me, So he said to me, I think you should just stay with what you're doing now. Just enjoy the sweetness and the friendship, and don't hope for anything else. Don't try to manifest anything else. Just enjoy what is now, and accept it with grace and dignity, and just be the love you never had before in your life, and be surrounded and immersed in that love that you've never had before in your life. And he said, just enjoy it, Tanya. Isn't he a beautiful man? He really is. He's a wonderful doctor who really, I have always known, but I see it more and more. He really does have my back, and I needed that after the life for family of origin I had, and my husband and former lovers. I really do need a man that has my back and my front. And it was so sweet when he said, I really want you to have that, Tanya. I want you to have, a wonderful life where you're surrounded by love and cherished and valued and adored. And anyway, maybe it's coming. It may not be the person I thought it was. I don't know. One does not know. one does not know in life. But I don't know what cards will be played, and I don't know whose heart is truly mine, but my doctor and I have a powerful therapeutic alliance. We really do. You know, for him to recognise my power the way he does and tell me that he really admires and respects it, that's fucking potent, man. So I have a few friends and my wonderful doctor who truly do adore and value me and have my back and want me to heal myself and get stronger physically and mentally and spiritually and even sexually, although that's still kind of a pressure cooker that I have to kind of tweak a little bit and release in little stages, because I've locked it down for so bloody long, you know. I really have. But I told my psychiatrist how my friend was so affectionate, you know, a few weeks back, and acknowledged me in a way that was very sweet and loving and validating. And my doctor just went, "Oh, that's so lovely," you know. I said, he didn't have to do that, you know. He could have just ignored me and got back up on the stage, and I would have been none the wiser. So I was actually facing in the opposite direction, kind of within my own self, musing as I sometimes do. And it was just delightful. And so I said to my doctor, I said, I think this man, I said, truly does love me when he says he loves me. And if he weren't married and he weren't, you know, a happily married man, I think he genuinely would have considered, you know, beginning something with me. So I said, it's just a bit cruel that the gods send me love that can't be consummated, and, you know, it's just another repeat cycle pattern, which I hoped had been broken after 10 years, but clearly is not. So that means it comes down to fate or destiny or what have you, you know. So, but yes, my doctor and I agreed that I will keep doing what I've always done, which is enjoying my dancing and just living my best life and enjoying the people around me that enjoy my company and treat me with sweetness. And if I'm meant to be in a romantic sexual love partnership with someone, that will happen in due course at the appropriate time with the appropriate person, with harm to none. So it is done. And but I wanted to share that with you about my psychiatrist teasing me about my outfit and how I look libidinous. He often teases me about being libidinous, and I haven't blossomed out that way for quite some years, so it's kind of delightful. So thank you to the Holy One and all manifestations, and to the gods, and to the archangels, and to the fairy realms. Gratitude to the fairy realms for opening up my heart, my kintsugi'd, locked down heart, and my libido and my sexuality, and in such a way that I'm blossoming and I'm joyful, and I'm ready to invite a truly good, kind, love partner into my life in the eternal now. In the eternal now, starting from now, am I right? But time takes time, and it may be too little too late, by the way. I'm realistic. As I said to my psychiatrist, Brian, I said, Brian, even if you get my health in, you know, reasonable order, just might all be too little too late. And that is indeed the tragedy. But he said, imagine, Tanya, imagine if we got you healthy and that you could truly invite love into your life. I looked at him and I said, Doctor, I'd be dangerous. And we both had to giggle at that. So yes, I don't usually share my therapy sessions with YouTube, but I just thought that was a very powerful session we had today, and it was cute and it was delightful, and I'm grateful, as I said, I'm grateful to have such a wonderful man in my life cheering me on and wanting to see me be healthy and be loved at long last in a healthy, nurturing, sustaining, kind, loyal, faithful way. So, to you, YouTube world, this is another postcard from the edge, I suppose, but here we are, pretty in pink and purple. I guess I do look kind of saucy when I think about it. You see, it's all kind of underneath my consciousness. I'm just like, man, what am I going to wear today? Oh, my Deify t-shirt. And I just thought the mauve and the purple would look good with it. Not any other contrived plans on how I cobbled that together. But I am a shaman, so there is that. And the gods know what the gods know, and they tweak me every now and then, stir me up. So have a beautiful evening, people of Earth, and I'll keep you posted on any other developments that might come my way. I have a feeling things are starting to move forwards at long, long last. But as I say, it must be taking into account the safety and the sweetness and the nobility of others. Okay, bye for now from Titania's realm.